Hello and welcome back to WGL APAC. Rogi and Alex here to bring you game number 2. We just saw EL in what could be considered an upset, considering that they were currently 0 for 2 against Efficiency, take them out in a very dominating fashion.
Yep, absolutely. Wargaming, they're looking super strong, looking like their usual selves, which they haven't against Team Efficiency so far this season. So, look, that was a surprising one. I was thinking that it was going to be longer. Jordan was thinking it was going to be longer, and that Team Efficiency was going to win it. But got to give it to you, Max. You did even call Wargaming for the win.
I feel like EL, it was their due time. They were overdue for a win against Efficiency. While Efficiency played well, you got to come back to that statement you made about it just didn't feel like EL playing in their games against Team Efficiency. It was kind of a little bit different, a little bit out of the ordinary, but tonight they stuck to their guns. They played the fast, the heavy, their, focus fight. It was just perfect out of EL tonight.
Yeah, it was good stuff coming out of EL. But look, here, up next, of course, our next matchup for everyone, Caren Tiger TCZ. I think this one is going to be a bit of a change of pace compared to that game there from obviously the top 2 teams in the region. We've now got Caren Tiger, quite a solid team. You know, they're headed to the playoffs this next weekend, and Team Coalition Zoo, who are now locked in as a team that will not be heading to the playoffs. They will not be heading to the season finals this season. So, unfortunately enough, that does mean that really this match, it's a chance for them to maybe experiment with a few new tactics that they weren't willing to do last season. So,
well, of course, you got to remember, Caren Tiger, on the other hand, though, they're vying for every last point with only a few games left to play. And with them on I think they're 1 point ahead of Meltdown, 3 behind Horseman at the moment.
Yeah, Caren Tiger want the points.
They need every single point that they can get. And you better believe they're going to be working for it tonight against Coalition Zoo here. And Caren Tiger, they're in such a tricky spot. They need, of course, against Coalition Zoo, you'd expect them to come away with the 3 points here. But if by miracle Coalition Zoo can finally show up tonight, who knows? Last week, Alex, you were the tank whisperer for that team, but
yeah, well, exactly. I'm not too sure, but Caren Tiger here, they've got a very solid lineup. Polly, you know, Zenlon, Yupa, all top players. Yupa recently has just been on fire, absolutely on fire. He is one of the top damage dealers, not only on Caren Tiger, but across the entire WGL APAC kind of playlist. Really, he does work. Who else? Opalisk, best arty player in WGL APAC. Look, Caren Tiger, they've got a good team together.
Yeah, of course, on the other side of the table, you've got Coalition Zoo, who, Alex, you've had some behind the scenes with these guys. You gave them some tank tips here and there. Are there any insider tips for this game coming up?
I'll be honest, I actually forgot to give TCZ my tips this week
because doomed. They're done for.
Yeah, I was watching Jordan's stream last night.
Who wasn't?
Exactly. Madhouse was popping in there and saying, "Hey guys, you know, any more ideas?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, but I need to think of them. I'll get back to you." And I didn't get back to him.
You're too busy cooking that delicious cake, Alex.
Exactly. But unfortunately, TCZ will have to make up their own strategies for this one. And look, when we take a look at our head-to-head for this one, Yupa and Madhouse, 2 of their respective damage dealers for each of their teams. And, you know, Madhouse, he's a very solid player. Bit of a different play style to Yupa. I feel as though Yupa's just maybe slightly more reserved, slightly more kind of team-oriented, whereas Madhouse, he'll often find himself in tanks like the, you know, maybe like the S tank, for example, and maybe some other tank destroyers where he doesn't rely on his team quite so much. Because at the end of the day, if you're in TCZ, you know, you probably don't want to be relying on your team too much if you're if you can at all help it.
We're getting it out of the way early, are we, Alex? Getting it out of the way early. But yeah, obviously looking at Yupa's stats, he's a bit above Madhouse at the moment in terms of the damage dealer on the squad. And like you said, Yupa, he's been having such a great run of things lately.
Yeah.
But Caren Tiger, though, when they're a team that I like to call the most inconsistent team I've ever watched play in my life, in any game. They can be at the top of the tables and down in the dumps. Now, I do want to pose this question. Do you think that if Caren Tiger do not show up at all today, are Coalition Zoo good enough to beat the bottom performing Caren Tiger?
Well, look, that's a fun thought, Max. That's a very fun thought. And I'm just trying to think. I was like, when has Caren Tiger been right at the bottom?
Last week.
Because last week, yeah,
they looked pretty bad last week.
You're not wrong. Last week they did look pretty bad. But in response to your question, I think No. No, is the short answer. There is still no way that even Caren Tiger, at their absolute worst, are going to be overtaken by TCZ.
Yeah.
Look, maybe if TCZ, used my strat that I gave them last week against CL,
outdated, though.
then we could see a few wins.
We do have Himmels up tonight.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. So TCZ picking Himmels as their first map pick. I like that from TCZ. They vetoed out Cliff, that's fine. Prokhorov can veto out for Caren Tiger. That's more of a kind of target veto because obviously TCZ not bad at proc. And Caren Tiger going in mines first up, which is a little bit dangerous. They're pretty good on mines, so dangerous for TCZ. Himmelsdorf good for TCZ. Ruinberg vetoed out there by TCZ. I actually feel as though TCZ aren't. Oh, okay, never mind. Well, I felt as though TCZ weren't that bad at Ruinberg. Then I looked down at my stats and saw that they have a 0% win rate on it. Well, so
that's pretty bad.
There you go.
For you guys, for you aspiring mathematicians at home. 0%, not good.
Not great, but steps here from TCZ, that's actually not bad from them. They've got a decent steps defense. Ghost Town pick there from Caren Tiger as well. Caren Tiger are okay on it. It's not an amazing map for them. Would have almost preferred Ruinberg here for Caren Tiger, but obviously that being vetoed out. Not a bad map pool overall for Caren Tiger. I think they're going to be pretty happy with this. Mines first up. They should pull out that one with a 2-0. Himmelsdorf, maybe that's a chance for TCZ to go 1-1. Steps, maybe a 1-1. So that'll make it like a 4-2 or something, and then Ghost Town Caren Tiger should be able to clean it up. So I think that's best case scenario there for TCZ is something like a 5-2. I'm predicting a 5-1 here. That's what I said before I took a look at these map picks. But if TCZ can kind of put their heads in the game, it could maybe be a 5-2.
Well, we've seen crazier things happen. They got that 5-2 against EL Gaming, picking up the 2 on Himmel. So who knows where that one can go. But jumping back in, we got mines at our first map here. And we know that we have seen some, quite a few artillery fights coming out between teams recently. And do you think with Caren Tiger having Opalus, good chances of us seeing maybe a tier 9 or a tier 10 arty that we've been kind of longing to see for in this series?
Well, that's interesting. I think when we think about tier 10 arties, we do need to think about what maps they actually work on. Mines, look, it's a very small map. That's the only issue with the tier 10 arty is that it is quite small, so that does restrict it a little bit and say, well, maybe tier 8 will do just as much as a tier 10 almost. I think something like Muravanka, if we do end up seeing that in the tiebreaker, that is something which we could potentially see a tier 10 arty on, maybe on the attack even. But overall, apart from that, Opalisk, the issue is that he does so much work in the tier 8 arties that there's no real reason that he needs to get in a tier 10, to actually do the work. And a T92, if anything, sometimes you can get in a T92 and have a worse game than you would in an in a tier 8. Just by the fact that the T92 is less accurate and therefore you might just miss a few more shots and not have an impact. So
just a great point. Whatever Opalisk is doing for himself right now in the tier 8 arty is just working phenomenally. He's always able to hit his shots. He's always able to find his marks. I think we saw last week it was Opalisk versus Fox TS on mines, and it was just Opalisk just had his number. It wasn't even a contest. Fox TS, while he's a great player in his own respective rights, should stay to the TVP.
Yeah, against Opalisk, absolutely. You could just see there that was dominance of artillery. You don't want to be in a 1v1 against Opalisk when you're both in artillery pieces, that's for sure. So look, I'm definitely hoping that Opalisk can get himself into some arties this game. Obviously on mines, we definitely expect to see an arty on the defense, maybe an arty on the attack. Some teams do it, some teams don't. I think when you've got Opalisk, you can probably get away with it. But apart from that, if you want to take early hill control, that's when maybe you don't go for the artillery piece on the attack, just go for some other T49 or something to help out that early push. I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, looking forward to this game. And not for the first half.
Oh,
the defense.
Look at that. Yeah, well, I've just...
Just
seen actually, two arties.
Interesting.
So we've got an arty on both sides. TCZ actually going to be going for that tier 9 artillery piece and a batch at AP, which is interesting. I like that tier 9 arty actually from TCZ because they are going to be able to get some kind of slightly more damage on towards the mouse and on towards that T110E4. It's a very heavy lineup from Caren Tiger here, but I love that on the defense. I love that T110E4. It's a very strong tank in the current meta, can get through Mouses very easily. Very, very hard to trade against because it's got 750 alpha.
Yeah.
And a very solid turret. So I'm liking that from Caren Tiger. And TCZ, yes, I like the tier 9 Artie, but they've also got the Batchat AP. And when you look at Caren Tiger's lineup, I mean, like the Batchat APs, it's in struggle street. Yes, it's going to be able to do some damage to the Batchats, but I mean, Mouse, good luck. IS4 frontally, good luck. T110E4 frontally, good luck, sort of thing. So Odysseus is really going to need to get his flank on in this one.
They're all going to have their work cut out for him, but already Opalesque, he's kind of showing his hunting grounds here. Going for the shot was Lion actually looking down for that one onto Opalesque, but we know where he is. Still got about 20 seconds on the reload for that one, so.
Oh, this is interesting. So we're already again seeing a bit of counter Artie. It's kind of quite interesting how much these teams and how much these Artie players value this counter Artie.
Yeah, they really do. Been cropping up more and more on mines.
Yeah, I guess when it's this kind of slower style of play where you know the artillery piece can have such a big impact over the course of a 10-minute game, you know, it's pretty good. But Opalesque there, look how safe he's playing that. You cannot counter Artie that because he's right behind a building. And I'm not sure whether Lions even tried or whether he saw that, but it's looking like right now Opalesque has had no troubles. Just sitting behind the building, poking out when he needs to. TCZ right now.
Yep.
They've got kind of hill control because Alec Dye is up on the hill, which is good. So they can kind of use that hill control to maybe exert a little bit of extra pressure around the map, push Roby1 Kenobi up there. And all they really need to do is just get some spots, because if they get some spots, then Lion in the M53 can kind of help out after that.
Yeah, it looks like Caren Tiger don't really want to brawl right now. They just want to wait for Opalesque to start connecting with some shells. And then in a weakened state, they might go for the fights on Coalition Zoo here. But, of course, Coalition Zoo, they're doing the same thing, but the only difference is time is not on their side as they are the attacking squad. Already nearly 3 minutes of the game burnt away, and Coalition Zoo are yet to do a point of damage. But, like you mentioned, they have full map control, but what can they do with it? That's kind of the next execution of the plan.
Yeah, look, I mean, if you're TCC, you really would need to be, or at least really want to be getting some spots out. I mean, that's what the Artie does. It shoots tanks that are spotted. But if TCC have no idea where any of these Caren Tiger tanks are, then the Artie's not going to be able to do too much. So, something for them to work on. Of course, that is the issue again with not having that tier 8 scout tank. I mean, the Batchat AP, it's a lot less disposable than something like an RU251 or a AMX 1390, and I like this. If Alec Dye can get up on the hill, which he can, first try.
Get spotted though.
That's only 194 damage, so I'm not too sure. Maybe AccuV had HE loaded or something?
Maybe.
Yeah, not sure about that, but he does manage to get up on the hill, and this is good, because this means that TCZ, not only do they have central hill control, they also have hill control up here, which means that they're going to be able to get even more spots, and that's what we've said. Spots are the key here for TCZ.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see if Alec Dye can get into a nice position to help out the Coalition Zoo cannons to find their marks, because right now that's really what they're waiting for then. Biding their time, 4 minutes down. See Polly's rotating back around, wants to make sure that Alec Dye can't just swoop in and take out the artillery piece, because that would be lights out for Coalition Zoo. Caren Tiger right there.
Yep. Would not be great. AccuV there does actually get spotted out. Obviously, he's not in a position where that artillery piece is going to be able to hit him. Hellcry, if he gets spotted out, he's actually fairly openish right there. I think the M53 might be able to hit him. Oh, there we go. Actually, Alec Dye could also hit him, but Alec Dye gets traded back. And that's the issue when there's a T110E4 on your team as well. Oh, well, here we go.
Arrow's been spotted. Closing in the shot. Biding his time. Let's see if Lion can connect with the first artillery shot of the game. Fire in the hole. Connects with a big 932 damage onto Marrow.
Yeah, and that's the danger of that tier 9 artillery piece. Just, you know, it's just more powerful than the M40, M43. We saw that there. Marrow, now one more shot of those, one more arty shot that kind of even splashes near him. And he could be looking at going down before he's fired a shot himself. So, Opalus here going to be going for the YOLO shot. That one was a very low percentage chance. Doesn't hit anyway.
You can see Caren Tiger, they're not really doing a lot to facilitate Opalisk right now. They're just kind of saying, hey, just shoot at popular spots where the enemy tanks could be sitting. But every 30 seconds for the chance to get a shot, that's not a winning strategy coming out of Caren Tiger right now. Still, they've managed to go through 6 minutes of Coalition Zoo's time. Coalition Zoo need to act soon and finish them off. And this is the problem that we've run into before, right? It's when teams wait too long, the attacking teams wait too long, and then there's too much HP on the side of the defenders to burn through in the appropriate amount of time. So if Coalition Zoo kind of just rest on their laurels for another 3 minutes, they could really start facing that as a potential issue.
Yeah, well, right now, the potential issue for Coalition Zoo is actually starting to be time, because 3 minutes and 45 seconds left. They have still got time left to push in, but it is running out a little bit. So if you're in TCC shoes, you do probably just want to be thinking about that, and the clock is going to be playing on the back of your mind a little bit. Alec Dye is on the reload again, playing this hill quite well. He hasn't given up too many shots. You know, he's got some good spots for his team, help them to, you know, get some damage out. So overall, TCC actually playing this one quite well, quite smart, slowly, which, you know, we're not always used to seeing from TCC. But here comes another shot. Oh, there's Hellcry spotted out. And he's not in a position right now where Lion can shoot him. Lion going to maybe try for Mudame, or maybe wait for Yupa to pop his head out. It's looking like it's not going to be Mudame because he doesn't see him.
Just trying to find someone to shoot right there. That's the only early shot we came was on, Sorcum was on Tamaro, and potentially one onto Yupa. He doesn't want to go for the moving target here. Trying to find Modame.
Oh, yep, that was a pretty good one. 504, could have been a little bit more, but look at this. Roby one, Roby.
A lot of trouble right now for the boys on the Caren Tiger, but actually Coalition Zoo are the ones copping most of the damage here. Nomad on 20 HP left. He's the first one to fall in the mouse. Next one could be Joe, as he's in the firing line at the moment. You can see AccuV somehow staying alive despite everything. Odysseus goes down, and Coalition Zoo, after getting some great poking shots and spotting, fall victim to their own push.
Yeah, look at that. Not great stuff there from TCZ. And, I mean, yes, they did need to push in, but that was just really, really sloppy. Took way too much damage doing so. And, I mean, we're seeing the price paid right here. Although Alec Dye should be able to get some good shots into Hellcry. The issue is CT still have a lot of HP left on the field.
Yeah, they're fine. I don't think there's enough time for Coalition Zoo to work with here, especially with them being on the attack. Chippy, Alec Dye, and Lion, last 3 players left alive. So unless Lion can get a few Hail Marys, he's got time enough for 3 shots in the game?
Yeah, well, maybe even coming on to 2 now as Marrow. Oh, yeah, that's not good.
Oh, he spotted him out, Marrow.
Yeah.
Snipes out Chippy in the bat chat.
And honestly, that's pretty much it, I think, because Alec Dye is not on enough health, even if we see Lion get like a 1 shot here, which he's not going to do. There's still 4 Caren Tiger non-arty players left up, and Alec Dye does manage to take down Hellcry. Honestly, shout out to Alec Dye here, because he's been playing this hill really, really well. And it's not something I think we've seen from TCZ too often before.
No, definitely not. This is hopefully something they can work on and improve with. Alec Dye doing it well. Looks like this is going to be the round here. Coalitions with only 9 HP left online. Last player left alive, and that's going to be Caren Tiger getting the victory. Taking the series up 1-0 in a very, very slow game here. Both really trying to utilize their artilleries to get the majority of the damage down before the tanks went in. But Coalition Zoo, they had to go. They were the attacking team. They ran out of time. It happens.
It does. Look, and it's a bit of a shame, really, because I was kind of liking how TCC was starting to play that one. You know, they were making very measured kind of calls. They weren't rushing in anywhere. They didn't even kind of push the hill until quite late into the round once they'd got that boost up, once they'd scouted out everywhere else around the hill and kind of identified that it was a safe push in. So look, there's some plays there from TCZ that I'm really liking, but obviously that last little
push, just a sloppy push.
Yeah, that
I know that's the thing, right? They play the 90% of the game so perfectly, then they fumble that 10% at the end. And I wasn't even focusing on Coalition Zoo's health pool in that. I saw, wow, they got AccuV's mouse down to like 20 health. This is great for them. And then I look back and Coalition Zoo, somehow, they're just, all their HP had just been obliterated from the map. Don't even know how that happened. Like this time, I was looking at AccuV the whole time, but both the Mousers on Coalition Zoo were dead by the time, before AccuV died, as a matter of fact.
Yeah. So not ideal. That was a nice little shot there from Maro, but at the end of the day, Alec Dye, look at that, 4.1k damage, and that's why I wanted to give him a shout out, because he did so much work on that hill. Those Mousers of Caren Tiger did not have an easy time at all.
Lion doing work too.
Yeah, Lion in the M53, he played that one very well from an arty perspective. He rotated because he was initially up the top left of the map from the mini-map view, and he realized that he couldn't get many shots down there because of where the Caren Tiger tanks were situated. So he rotated, moved to the top right, and he got some good angles, and that's what you have to do if you're a good arty player, a top arty player. Just get into the spots where you know you can get the angles from. So shout out to him. Yupa in the T124 as well, 3k damage. Look, I'm always a big fan of the T124. Yupa proving again that it is a very solid tank. Roby in the S-Tang, not doing too badly. DCS in the Batchat AP, like I really don't like picking Batchat APs whenever there's a mouse, or particularly whenever there's a possibility of two Mousers or two remotely heavy tanks on the other side.
Yeah.
I just don't like the Batchat AP. It's got a 44.9% win rate.
And I imagine that's on the decline as well.
It is on the decline, exactly. I'm pretty sure it was like something like 45 last week. 44.9% win rate is not good. That is actually really bad because it's got a very big sample size.
Yeah, that's the thing, right?
Such like if we take a look at the mouse, right? You think, oh yeah, the mouse, it's been picked so often since the mouse patch must be completely broken. And I'm looking at it down here. It's only on 49.12. So, like it's even the mouse isn't doing that well. So. Yeah, anyways, look, minor things. I think at the end of the day, the main thing that didn't really work out for TCZ that time is obviously their push. They pushed in, just took way too much damage, and Caren Tiger were ready for it. And that's the issue, right? When you're pushing into all of those hull-down tanks, or kind of tanks in a really good defensive positions. Maybe if TCZ had kind of got their Batchat AP, and did they have two regular Batchats or just the one? I forget.
They had one on Alec Dye, so I'm assuming two. They had another one roaming around.
Yeah. So maybe even if they just got their Batchat AP to push down the coast and try for some sort of a flank down there, at least split Caren Tiger's views into a few different places, then maybe that would have worked out better for them. But obviously, as it was, well, push didn't work. So.
Yeah, I know. That's the thing, right? It just all came down to the double mouse just not working out. They took way too much damage off the initial, and after playing the majority of that map so well, it's heartbreaking to see Coalition Zoo go down in that manner anyway. Caren Tiger, they really didn't do much that game. They just kind of stepped back, waited for the push. The Opalist didn't really do much. I think he had like 700 or so damage at the end of the game.
Yeah.
So even on the side, the artillery was just doing more for Coalition Zoo. They played the 9 minutes of that game perfectly, and then the last minute, that's where it went wrong.
Bit of a shame, TCZ. But I mean, look, if TCZ can keep that up, what we just saw there, show signs of life. Absolutely, that is, some really good play that I'm struggling to think of when I've seen it so far this season from TCZ, because they don't often show that sort of calculated, slow, measured play that actually works. But look, when do we see Lion doing work? We don't. We don't see Lion doing work that much, to be perfectly honest. I'm struggling to think of him as a top damage dealer at all. But in that one, in the RDPs, played that arty as good as anyone could play the arty there. So really, it was some very good stuff from TCZ, and I'm hoping that they continue that and can move us into a little bit of a close game.
Well, definitely broadening their horizons that game. Like you said, picking up the T9 artillery, using the hill control to perfection. So hopefully as this series goes on, like you mentioned, they can really bring it home, at least give us one round.
And I would love to see from TCZ at least one T110E4 on the defensive side here. Now that this
works so well for
I love the T110E4. I mean, to be fair, we have seen, I think it was maybe even Wargaming picked the T110E4 and it didn't work out too well, but that was because they potatoed it a little bit and didn't scout anything with it. So, you know, T110E4 on the defense here, I would love that. Maybe, look, they could go for another Tier 9 artillery piece here. Another M53 if they want a TCZ. It's a little bit riskier doing it on the defense because you do maybe become prone to rushing, but I don't think Caren Tiger's the team that's going to pick 7 bat chats.
No.
So I think in that regards, it would still be safe for TCZ to go for that Tier 9 artillery piece again on the assumption that Caren Tiger will chuck a couple of Mauses in their lineup. So maybe T110E4, Tier 9 arty, maybe a bat chat or 2. Just getting into a bit of a groove.
We got all the recipes for a delicious cake, Alex. It's just the baking process is what goes wrong for Coalition Zoo here, and they're getting it out of the oven. They just drop it.
They take it out of the oven too early. You know, it's like a good.
They left it in for quite a while.
They did leave it in for a while, and yeah. Anyways. Actually, yeah, maybe that's not the best thing. But unfortunately, TCZ proving that they're not quite on top of the meta still by picking a T110E5 instead of a T110E4, which is incorrect. But the 2 Mauses there, not too bad. IS4 works. They're going to be going with the Tier 8 artillery piece and the Grill 15 and a regular bat chat. So honestly, I just wish TCZ had picked the T110E4 there, because when you look at Caren Tiger's lineup, it's perfect to pick a T110E4 into, because you got all those Mauses, you got the the other squishy tanks which you can just get alpha down by a T110E4. And the reason I go on about it so much is it's got like 370 mils or so of pen. It's got 750 alpha damage. It's pretty bloody sturdy. Then a T110E5, it's like, pop 300, 400 damage with like average penetration. Then it just gets rushed down and dies.
Yeah, you mentioned broadening their horizons. Maybe not that broad yet, Alex. Maybe still a little bit more time. My lord, Opalist! He had a bone to pick and
my goodness,
beached. Maybe they should have given it to Lion.
They should. Like, why do they swap around arty players? TCZ plays Lion. Like, that's... When Lions just played such a blinder on artillery, I want to know the logic from TCZ as to why they put beached in the Tier 8. In the artillery piece. I mean, maybe it is because it's Tier 8, but like an M40 and an M53 are basically the same thing.
Yeah.
One just like takes slightly longer to aim and is slightly less accurate.
Yeah, Opalist is out with a vengeance. He's got a vendetta right now.
Yeah.
He got embarrassed on his arty last round and starts off the round strong with the one shot over onto Beach. And now Lion in the firing lines. He's got himself up on top of the mountain this time around on the defensive side here. But now, Coalition Zoo without their artillery to poke back the damage. Will Caren Tiger decide to just wait and fire? Or they maybe go for a play eventually?
I wonder. I very much wonder. I think right now, Alec here pushing up. It's not a bad move. What Alec is trying to do by just pushing that little bit extra forward is trying to spot out any boosts which Caren Tiger might be making with their bat chats onto the little mountain there in the east. So good little play, good little read. Thinking, well, maybe Caren Tiger might want to do the boost. They don't at the moment, but it is still protected. So Lion, he is struggling. I think one of those arty shots might have already hit him because he's only on 445. Roby's spotted. You do not want to be spotted in a grill.
Look, it's safe to say it's all gone wrong for Coalition Zoo at the start of this game. But Caren Tiger, they've done a great job already. Opalist on that arty, taking out Beach, hitting his shots left, right, and center. Maybe even gets this one onto Roby. If he does, it's going to hit the wall. But as Caren Tiger in control of this game are ready to maybe go for a push any minute, let's jump on board with them and have a listen in to how they plan to play this one out.
当てに行くこと考えたら2枚渡らせた方がいいよ。
ね、そうだね。何
ブラインド。
だからお前隠れとけって。
いやだから顔出す必要ない。
死にそうになってる。おい。
いやこれ渡れない俺。
いやだからそこまで前行かなきゃいいじゃん。
そうそこまで行かなくていいね。
まあいいや。とりあえずヘルくらいは残すでしょこれ。てかバレ続けてんじゃないそれ。
いやバレ続けてん。
そこちっちゃいからなんかねバレ続ける可能性ある。なんか変なポジション。
マウス出すよ。マウス仕掛けないとまずいな。
セルク大会。
これ俺じゃなくてただプッシュ打ってるだけ。
なんでそんなとこにいるんだほんとヘルくらい。
グリで。
完全に隠れとけよもったいね。
マウスやん。
ごめん。
E5 海。
E5か。
誰か入ってんな。
いやでも TVP 渡りたくないんだけど。
いや渡らない1枚1枚
マウス先出すよ。マウス先出すよ。
タイミング教えてマウス。
俺も出る俺も。
バレないよマウス。見えた。
バレた。
いや俺バレた今。
今の後ろヘルくらいキャップでもいいんじゃない？
リュウダンあれ。
そうか。それしよう。
ヘルカこ
グリーンこっち見てる。
わかる。
グリで打った方打った。
Lining up the shot onto Roby, he can take his pick as well, but the Mousers have started to move down for Caren Tiger. Coalition Zoo up against the pump right now. Shot comes through, 900 damage onto Joke. He's going to be reeling after that one, really struggling to find their footing in this game. Caren Tiger. Madame gets the kill onto Lion, but falls in the process. That's one Mouse off the field at least for Caren Tiger, but they still have 2 more to deal with on the side of Coalition Zoo, and if Opalus just keeps hitting these shots, it's not going to be the Mousers that win this war, Alex.
No, absolutely not. It is going to be Opalisk in that M40. But right now, Caren Tiger actually still up down on HP compared to TCZ. Of course, they do have that tank advantage right now. TCZ, though, they're going to be looking to take out Hellcry pretty soon. He's only on 173 HP, and they're in some pretty strong defensive positions.
Zenlon, he's just going to get sandwiched here by the Mouse. He should fall eventually. Odysseus back behind the rock. Now Nomad gets a shot before he goes down. Zenlon, don't think he's long for this world. Can Odysseus get maybe one shot in? Looks like Zenlon should be able to get one more. Looks like he's giving him the no, but of course he is just angling his armor better.
Yeah, there we go. Zenlon actually does manage to ricochet that next one as well, which is nice. So we can see Nomad, he does actually take another one. Surely this one will go through Zenlon.
Oh no, Zenlon! He survived much longer than he should have. He should have only been able to get off one shot, but he's actually going to be able to get off his 3rd before he should finally fall. And shot from Roby 1 comes through. Can it connect? No!
Oh my goodness, how did that
Hellcry. And Zenlon finally falling to Nomad after what seemed like an eternity, but that was just,
here.
I have no idea how that shot missed from Roby.
3 seconds left, they need the reset.
Oh,
no one's got the reset, that's it. Oh, they get it.
Just in the nick of time onto Yupa. I still don't think it matters though. Coalitions with only 3 tanks left alive, 5 tanks for Caren Tiger, and Hellcry will just be hiding behind Yupa, so they probably are still going to get the cap victory here. It's going to go over to Caren Tiger as they secure that one away. No, they don't! The preemptive, it looks like someone was able to get that in the last second.
There we go.
Hey.
Okay, that's actually it. That's actually the win. Okay.
It's so hard to call because it's got that little tail. It's got that little tail on the end of it, and you can never trust it. You always gotta have nerves of steel when it comes to calling that one.
Yeah. No, that was very close. But at the end of the day, a good strategy from Caren Tiger. I think they had that bat chat in there, the Mouse in front of it. And TCZ didn't have the tanks to deal with it. TCZ, maybe there was a chance that if their grill was in there, they could have won an actual
if Roby hit that shot, he would have killed the bat chat, and then that would have been able to win the cap victory.
Yeah, well, exactly.
If Roby, I still have no idea how he didn't kill him there.
Yeah, that is a shot which it should hit. It should hit. That's one of those times it's just like, RNG, please.
Yep, he's just, luck was not on his side
At
tonight.
least he can blame that.
Yeah.
Rather than anything else.
And unfortunately,
he aimed it well.
He can blame it all he wants, but it's not going to give him the W on the second half of Mines tonight. Great stuff by Caren Tiger. Yeah. Still, a little bit of a close finish, considering the excellent start to the round that they had, and already Beach was taken out with that artillery, but you can see what Opalisk was able to do time and time again, just constantly hitting shots throughout the game, and this mouse fight just looks awkward when it's at such close quarters. And see, it was actually Hellcry in the bat chat behind Yupa that allowed him to win that game. And obviously we can't say that Roby was missing shots because he got 3.7k worth of damage. It's just that he only needed to hit one. And it was that last one at the end.
Yep, there we go. So, Opalisk there in that M40, 2.9k damage. That's where we're used to seeing Opalisk.
Oh yeah.
And he just shut down, of course, the TCZ Artie there as well that time, which was a big issue for them. Yupa and the Mouse not doing too badly, 2.1k damage. Odysseus in the Ice 4, 2.1k damage. Polly and Zenlon not looking too bad either, but down the bottom of the scoreboard there, Beach. Look at that. That is... That's what happens. And
That's what happened when you die in the first
look.
30 seconds of the game.
And I wonder who else didn't do too much. Would it be the T110E5 that
It
got
would,
less
Alex.
that got less damage out than a T110E4 would have in one shot in 16 shots? I think it is.
Right on the money with that one, Alex. Again,
It's almost as if they should have picked a T110E4.
Coalition Zoo, usually the team that heeds your advice.
Exactly.
But
Well,
tonight they've forsaken you.
and
Alex.
obviously, unless
Forsaken
I
you.
tweet at Madhouse himself, they must not. I don't know.
Doesn't
Must
go down
not
in the
follow.
playbook.
Maybe not, but I think we've just proven there that T110E5 is quite bad. A little bit, because
not good.
16 shots fired, 2 of them hit. Two of them hit and went through.
Yeah.
Because that's the big thing in this matter is like shots that actually go through, and that's why penetration now.
So important.
Yeah, exactly. It's so important. Whereas before, when we just had bat chats and AMX 50Bs and TVPs, like the penetration statistic on any gun wasn't like it was never really valuable.
Yeah, it wasn't the be all end all.
Exactly. But now, it's that statistic has got a lot more value added to it just because we're getting Mouses now. We actually haven't seen any Type 5s or Type 4s tonight, which is...
No, not tonight.
You almost kind of forget about them, but, you know,
Maybe
so
when
many
we
more
get
of these
into-
heavy
maybe-
attacks.
Maybe we can get into our Himmels, our next map we could potentially see some Type 4s or Type 5s rolling on out. Because Himmels, we've seen a variety of things coming on Himmels. A lot of slow, immobile tanks, just, you know, set them up, aim straight ahead, tank plays itself.
Well, it's Himmelsdorf, and TCZ should really use their strategy that I gave them last week, which was triple T110E4, a couple of T95s. Like
have
a
you coined that?
Type
Have you
something.
coined that strategy
Yeah,
yet?
it's the Go-Go Gadget BDL gaming strat.
You heard it here.
Very catchy name, isn't it?
The GoGo Gadget BDL gaming strat.
Yep.
I like it.
Like I would name it after like a World War II like army major or something like that who came up with an amazing strategy in the war to you know flank around I don't know the Germans or something, but I don't actually know history that well. So. And I think
This will have to do.
Yeah, and I think World of Tanks has kind of already got most of those names in the game, so it wouldn't really be, you know.
I think it's quite catchy, Alex. Maybe not catchy because it's a bit of a mouthful, but definitely at
Thanks,
least
Rogie.
the GoGo
I thi-
Gadget strat.
I think you're being nice to me because I baked a really nice cake.
Did had strawberries on
So,
it.
Yeah,
That's definitely not why. I'm sure it's a great name.
strawberries.
The GoGo
were,
Gadget Baker something cake.
Yeah, strawberries were just done a little bit of lemon juice to add a little bit of acidity to it because the cake icing was just double cream and icing sugar, so it was quite sweet. But the lemon juice just balances it out. It's very good. I actually had someone in Jordan's Twitch chat
I was just about to mention that. I was just about to mention that.
Yeah.
Maybe we should save it for our next attempt at Phil.
Maybe we should.
Because we got the Himmelsdorf game coming up. So if you want to find out what a certain someone said to Alex in Jordan's Twitch chat, you can wait till the next break between the games.
Exactly. Let's find out now on Himmelsdorf. I'm actually excited to see what tanks these guys have picked.
Yeah.
You know, are we going to see some T110E4s from Coalition Zoo? You know, maybe Type 5s, Type 4s back into the mix again. Haven't seen them so far tonight. And
Okay, see him in this one.
TCZ
Oh, hello. A CDC.
E3s, a CDC and an i7. It's not bad. Look, I don't mind E3s, to be honest. There's nothing wrong with the T110E3.
Nope.
Caren Tiger, though, are going to be going with that T95, which I love the T95, as everyone knows. T110E3, not bad as well. 3 Mouses on either side. So it's kind of brawl central here. But TCZ not going to be going with any bat chats and instead just going with that CDC. Like, yeah, you can put a CDC in front of an IS7. I don't really think it's kind of nor here nor there. But it's not going to be easy for Coalition Zoo to push into Caren Tiger's lineup. That is for sure. Because CT's lineup, you know, with a they've almost got double T123 as well because the T95 is almost that.
Oh,
And
Yupa
lots of Mausers.
is going to be the forward scout for Caren Tiger in the only mobile tank on the team.
Yep.
He's running forward and ahead to try and get in there for some scouting runs. But as we know, Coalition Zoo, they're going very heavy up the hill. And they have all 7 of their tanks loaded and ready to make the play. Whether or not Caren Tiger will set up in time and at the appropriate locations, have to see how good their reading game is. Because if that's one of the things about these very slow tanks is once they've set up in a defensive position, it's really awkward to rotate back around because it's either you go the long route, which is exponentially longer because of your tank's maximum movement speed, or you go the short way and risk getting damaged.
Yeah, it's tricky. But right now we have got Caren Tiger just setting up. I mean, I'm actually not a big fan of this setup, to be honest, from Caren Tiger, because I feel as though when you've got this super heavy setup, like the issue is never if the enemy sneaks up on you, right? That's not really an issue if the enemy gets into a position where they can start a brawl, because you should be able to win the brawl anyway with this sort of you know, triple mouse, T123, T95, WZ setup. Even with the bat chat. I mean, yeah, the bat chat can go out and scout and stuff and do whatever it wants to. It's like basically, because it can get back very quickly. But I'm more of a fan of playing the super passive defense right around the spawn. We'll see how it works out though, because TCZ just about to get spotted out.
Yep, they're going to be moving all their tanks down here. You can see the B line with the 2T123 is going to be narrowing their sights down. They've spotted out one tank. It is going to be Zenlong that they fire off around into. Cops a shot here. Where do the rest of them want to go? They really have no choice but to go for this because it's too long to turn around and go back from whence they came. I like how Alec just slotted in so nicely between those two tanks.
Right in the middle. But here we go. Now this is going to be another potential issue for TCZ, and may even be the undoing of this CDC strat, because Mudame is set up right where they'd want to put the CDC and the IS4, and the IS7.
When you see the CDC, you know exactly what it's going to be doing here.
Yeah, exactly. And so this is a really good read there. Nice little snipe there from Joke. And I think Joke should be pretty happy actually, just kind of playing with the T95 like this.
Yeah, Modame might be fish food here if he doesn't be careful, because Nomad's going to be making his way down as well. Another shot coming out from Joke. If they can actually start connecting, then that would be nice.
Yeah, start penetrating. I mean, that's the issue, of course, with the T95. Is,
yeah.
You know, you've got a few weak spots, but I mean, what's happening here is that they're just not hitting that many of them. And Mudame able to get another 750 damage shot. If he can get another one in, nope.
Does go down. So as you can see, Coalition Zoo first tank off the board for Caren Tiger. They're making their way on down. Helkurai and the Deco. Force kind of going around. We can see a flank actually from Yupa and Akio V.
Nice angling there from that T123 as well.
I wonder how Caren Tiger play this. They have the flank ready. The tanks haven't been spotted out. Akio V and Yupa both still have the Shroud of Darkness to keep them safe for now.
Yeah, and look at this. Like, that CDC, like, they don't even really need the CDC because they've got a T95 corpse that they can use instead of the CDC, or maybe even as well as the CDC.
Yeah, it looks like it will be as well as.
Like, they've got the double blocker, which is a bit strange.
Oh, this is funny.
I mean,
Nomad goes down. Looks like Akio V and Yupa going to be starting their flank here. Roby falls as well, but that's to be expected in the CDC. 2 tanks on the cap. 1 at the moment. Minute 40 on the countdown timer. Caren Tiger need to go for the reset, but they don't need to do it anytime soon. 5 tanks left alive for Coalition Zoo, and Akio V and Yupa, they just need to make their presence known.
Yeah, the danger is those two up on the hill for Caren Tiger, and TCZ need to be very, very careful of them, because, you know, a bat chat that comes down and unloads a clip onto a T123, the T123, it's not a very high HP tank. It's got lots of armor around the front, but you know, if a bat chat gets a clip into it from behind, then you're going to be struggling.
Yeah, if they come screaming on in anytime soon, it's going to be bad. Going to be lights out for Coalition Zoo here, but they're biding their time. They're waiting till the Mousers are in position. And Odysseus got to be careful here. He's not in a very aerodynamic tank by the look of it. Beach coming in as well. Just going to try and block it off. So that Hellcry can't get that shot onto the mouse, but he does. Yupa is able to take out Odysseus. Not a lot for Coalition Zoo to really do here, but die.
Yeah, well, there we go. Somehow, Coalitions have just lost just about all of their tanks, and now...
Yeah. They were kind of predictable. Caren Tiger knew what they were doing. They sent the double flank coming up around, which forced Coalition Zoo to move on in to kind of double up on their frontline defense, which they just lost because Caren Tiger had already rotated the tanks back around. They knew the avenue of approach that Coalition Zoo would have to take and played it perfectly.
Yeah, there we go. So it's looking like it will be another win here from Caren Tiger, unless these Mousers can pull off something amazing, which, I mean, look, they do have a little bit of HP, but there we go. Alec Dye just getting flanked from behind, and there's too many angles for them to worry about right now. And yeah, that's going to be it, unfortunately, for TCZ. Look, I didn't mind how they played that one. You know, interesting strategy, the CDC strat.
I think it wasn't a fault of their own. The execution of that strategy, I thought they did it fine. It was just that Caren Tiger had the perfect answer. The flank from the WZ and the Batchat just forced Coalition Zoo to lose all of their high ground advantage and just roll straight on down into the fight, and couldn't angle their armor well enough. They just got completely lit up.
Yeah, that was a really good flank from Caren Tiger, and I suppose that's why going for the Batchat and the WZ as opposed to the Batchat and another T95 or a super heavy tank and or two super heavy tanks is good, because they do have that option to flank. You know, they could get up the hill fairly fast. WZ, I mean, yes, it is a heavy tank, but still fairly speedy for a heavy tank. You know, isn't going to struggle too much to get up that hill. So, look, good play there from Caren Tiger. Good read on that. Initially as well, that T95's positioning on that flag, that I think threw TCZ off a little bit, because that was exactly where they wanted to put their mouse. And at the end of the day, when that T95 is there, when it's already waiting and ready for you, which it was because they saw the CDC, and again, it's like, you don't need a CDC. They didn't need a CDC in that one because they did T95 corps. You know, like this T95 down here, this was the big blocker, and this let Caren Tiger have enough time to do all the flanks they needed. You know, there was just never any rush for Caren Tiger. They just, you know, got the tank, got the two flankers up on the hill, set up to defend that, you know, the rest of the two flag. They traded effectively because they also had, you know, some Mousers, and also those T123/T95, which trade well. So, yeah.
Big damage numbers, all parties involved here. Joke and Alec Dye both putting up big numbers for the Coalition Zoo here. Unable to clinch the win. And yeah, I don't know. It's just that mid game that they're, kind of that late game that they're struggling with. They get the initials quite well. They know how to set up in the mid game. Just not covering their angles well enough. Not covering their flanks. Not working on their pushes. Still very weak, because it's kind of the same thing. They had to go for the push when the flank was being forced upon them. The push, it's just a weak push out of Coalition Zoo tonight.
You know what I would really love? I would really love to see, I mean, we're not going to see this game. Maybe even tomorrow, who knows? Maybe I'll tweet at Madhouse. But I would love to see, like, 6 T124s.
6?
Oh, well, maybe not 6, but maybe 5 and then 2 T95s. Or so. Oh, maybe not 10. Anyways, the point is, I would love to see something like that. Lots of T124s on Himmelsdorf, because I just think it's so strong on so many different ways. Anyways, that's something for another time. Right here, we saw a bit more of a standard setup. Nomad, that's surprising and also not great, dealing 0 damage in his T123.
Yeah, he really...
That shouldn't really happen. 0 damage in a T123.
Yeah, I think he just got flanked by the Batchat and the WZ, because it was actually the WZ that took out Nomad. We saw in one of the replays. So he just couldn't defend from both fronts.
But at the end of the day, he still should have actually got some damage out before he got flanked, because that was quite a late flank, you know. Like, so not
they
great.
kind of had both of the T123s like sat next to each other.
Yeah.
So I guess maybe he was not penning his shots. Maybe he was just never in the position to go for the shots. Maybe he'd given the better angle over to the other T123. Who knows?
I mean, you know, a T123 on average, it actually has one of the highest average damage dealt per game across any tank in WGL APAC. I mean, there's barely anything that's higher. The Grill currently, but I'm sure that would be lower after the patch. The T123 on average deals 2,300 damage per game. So to deal 0. bit of a
I
step
know.
down.
It was always going to be a tough fight for the Coalition Zoo here tonight, but they really, like that first round of mines looked so strong. The rest has kind of looked quite abysmal for them.
Yeah, I mean, look, I liked that. I like some aspects of that again, but they just weren't enough to get Coalition Zoo the win. You don't need to do the CDC.
You don't.
Like, there's no point in having it. I've so rarely ever seen a CDC strat that's actually like, oh, wow, that specific tank that gives away your actual strategy is like won them the game. Never. It just gives you away your strategy. It shows your cards, you know. So
yeah, we've seen some interesting things. We've seen Meltdown play it and then not do the CDC strat.
Exactly. That's interesting. You know?
Again, like that's kind of you're just faking out your opponent. So you're not really using it for its intended purpose, but you're right. We've never seen when the CDC gets used as a shield, that team win the round. I feel like it's never won. The only time we've seen the CDC win is when it's to fake out your opponent. Because I think EL have done it too.
To fake it out maybe once or twice.
Yeah,
exactly,
I think Meltdown have maybe done it twice with the fake it out, and EL have done it once. And then the other times it just sits there, it dies, and then someone's already in position waiting, shoots the Bat Shadow, whatever they have, hiding behind it in the back with just a tier 8 or a tier 9 that they've put there.
Yeah. Well, look, I'm hoping on this next half we see something a little bit less CDC from Coalition Zoo because they need it, because
they're on the defense, and they played the defense very well against EL last time. So if they are going to pick up one win here against Caren, I think this is the round to do it, Alex.
Absolutely, it's the round to do it. Look, they don't need to change anything from their last game against Wargaming, because that's all you need to do on Himmelsdorf defense against Mousers. You just need to sit there with high alpha tanks, high alpha, high penetration, like that T1 10E4, and trade it out against the enemy team, against the Mousers that you will no doubt encounter. And if TCZ can do that, then I've got no reason to think why they can't pull off a win here against Caren Tiger, because I just think that strategy, the super defensive tank destroyer heavy strat to counter the Mousers, is optimal at the moment.
Yeah, and it worked. It really did. It showed exactly all the strengths of a very heavy tank destroyer lineup in the correct position to ensure that you're just not getting, spun around and trying to fight on multiple fronts. So yeah, it worked. If it can work against EL, there's no reason it can't work against Caren Tiger. It's just whether or not Caren Tiger will be expecting it, and if they are expecting it, how to play against it.
Yeah, well, that's the question, of course. Are they expecting it? Are they going to pick the Mousers? I don't really think that Caren Tiger will have come into this match with like a lot of thought. They're not going to be trying to counter the Coalition, so there's no need to.
They're playing their game tonight.
Exactly. That's all they need to do. Just play standard stuff, and they should be able to beat TCZ. It's working for them so far, obviously.
Oh yeah.
So I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Oh, well, not for much longer, apparently, Alex, as the tanks are ready and on the field.
Okay, so they've changed up my strategy a little bit. It's quite similar to what I originally said to them, but I think I said 3 T1 10E4s as opposed to the double T1 10E3. But look, overall, the premise is there. They've got the T95s. It's that's quite strong. I'd maybe prefer to see a Type 4 or a Type 5 even in there instead of one of the Mousers, just for a bit of guaranteed damage. But there's nothing wrong with that TCZ lineup. I think it's super strong and does exactly what we said before needed to be done. High penetration, high alpha tank destroyers. On the Caren Tiger side, we've got 4 Mousers, which actually aren't good, heading into that lineup. We've got Yupa in the Bat Chat, Mudame in the AMX 1390, Akev in the 113. You're going to really need to see some big flanks from Yupa and Mudame if this is to work. But if TCZ play this exactly like they played against EL Gaming last week, it is already done and dusted in my books. It's already a TCZ win.
So we've got a little bit of a refined Go Gadget BDL gaming strategy here.
Refined or kind of deconstructed.
Oh.
I'm going to go for a little bit deconstructed. It's not bad. Look, it's still quite good. Don't get me wrong. I still think they'll win with it, and it still accomplishes the same goals, but it is the deconstructed Go Gadget strategy.
All right,
Because
I'll concede that one.
The reason that you go the reason that my initial strategy had the T110E4s in it as opposed to the T110E3s is that you've already got two T110E3s. They're the T95s essentially, and the T110E4s actually have the turret and are taller, so they can use a little bit different cover still effectively. And Odysseus is in one of those cover places, and they're just slightly less immobile than the T110E3s, which is why I like them. But anyways, look, still TCZ, good lineup.
Yep, we'll see if it works out for them. Caren Tiger, of course, are going to be moving down that banana line. They've still about 3 tanks there, 1 up on the hill as well. As they're rolling on through, Coalition Zoo, have they got the correct tanks in the right positions, or rather, have they got their tanks in the correct positions to fend off this attack? Caren Tiger, slowly but surely in the triple mouse, making them move on up. Wonder where they're going to strike first.
Yeah, it's looking like a standard 2-flag push here from the guys on Caren Tiger. Just wondering what they're hoping to kind of get in towards the 2-flag, or how they're actually hoping to get in towards the 2-flag, because it's not going to be easy for them. I mean, look, this is something that Wargaming didn't do. Wargaming tried to push the 1 flag, and that didn't work out too well for them when they faced off against this strat. I wonder.
Oh, Coalition Zoo here, as they're about to find out Caren Tiger's plan. Let's jump on board with their comms, have a listen to how they plan to defend their setup.
This T95, you wanna go for a spin?
Yeah.
Where am I going? Do you wanna go for a spin?
Do I stay here or do I go back? I'm going back.
Joke, shoot his tracks, Joke.
So 1, 2, 3 there.
Oh, I can't do anything.
Whoa, watch out. Shoot his tracks. Joke.
I need help. I cannot reset. I cannot physically reset.
Alright, T95 cross. Let's have the E3 also moving in. But yeah, load some HE, I guess.
Oh my god.
What are those HE rounds you got there, Alex?
Yeah, someone look at Excellent.
Alright.
They pulled off.
Alex, turn yourself now. Yeah. Okay, they're moving off. They're probably gonna go for another cap.
Yeah, they're gonna pull us off, just be careful.
Pull us off. Nomad, yeah, Nomad. Back up and go defend the other cap now.
Yeah. Oh, shot.
They'll just shoot HE at this mouth.
Lion, pull back. What are you doing going forward?
Sucks.
Why is everyone getting away?
Alex, as they pull us out of position.
Odie!
I'm loading HE for this guy. Just hold the other position, guys. Not to, Alex, I'm trying to lose HP.
Odie.
Alex is probably gonna get chewed.
And you heard them screaming out a word for their lost comrade who's about to go down. Odie, no! As he gets dropped down to 20 HP. Coalition Zoo, you heard them. Pretty much the story of that was, there's nothing I can do. It's physically impossible for me to reset them right now.
Yeah, it's not ideal. I mean, they have got the reset, but this is looking very suboptimal for the Coalition. So the only good thing is that they do still have all of their tanks up, but this is some really good play by Zenlon. He's kind of, oh, and you see Lion there, like that needed to have really been a like a 750 damage shot, and I don't think the T110E3 has quite gone through there. So it just needs to be more shots going in from TCZ.
Yeah, they're really not finding their marks right now. Just looking at the HP pools between both of the teams here, it's clearly in the advantage of Caren Tiger. They have 6,000 HP advantage with still 7 tanks on the field for Coalition Zoo. That's quite an astounding margin to have. That's just showing the damage that's been dealt across all the members here. Looks like Caren Tiger fighting on both fronts at the moment, forcing Coalition Zoo out. Giving in the 113 should have no trouble coming around taking down Odysseus here as Joke falls to Marrow.
Yeah, look at that. And was that another miss? I think that was another miss. I don't even think he damaged AQOV there, did he? Like, that just can't be allowed to happen. You know? You need to be hitting all of those shots. And now Beached.
He gets that one at the AQOV, but at what cost? He's going to take a few shots from the AMX 1390 for his troubles. And yeah, there's Caren Tiger just taking advantage of the very low mobility of the Coalition Zoo lineup here.
Yeah, it's good play from Caren Tiger. There's no doubt about it. It's just a little bit sad to see from TCZ, I guess. I would have expected them to play a little bit better, maybe, but they're just not winning out in these trades, and that's what you need to do. with this sort of a setup. You need to win out in those early trades. They just gave them away to Caren Tiger.
Yep, unfortunate stuff for them. Only one tank taken down on the defensive side here. Marrow gets another one onto line. He falls. 3 tanks left alive for Coalition Zoo. And no matter the amount of tank destroyers left on the field, I think Caren Tiger should have no difficulty taking out this. Oh, Yupa just comes screaming around the corner to finish off Orobi 1 Kenobi right there. Beached and Alec died. Last 2 tankers left alive, but I think Caren Tiger know their win condition here, and it's a quick and easy cap victory with 10 seconds left on it, Alex.
Yep. There we go, beached. I mean, I'm not even sure if he's going to try and reset the cap. Yeah, he's not going to, because we've got Mudame trying for the glory instead, trying to get that those shots, and those mouses will cap up. Oh, Polly.
Yeah, doesn't want to roll too far forward. He might get himself out of the hill there and cause a little bit of a tricky situation for not only himself, but also the people at the back calling the victory right there.
Yeah, there we go. Well, look, that was that one. I think I'm still a little bit disappointed that TCZ did end up losing that. It was a good push from Caren Tiger in towards that 2 flag, and I think we heard it on TCZ's comms as well. You know, they asked themselves, why are we all getting wrecked? And the answer was they're drawing us out of position, and that really was it. Because unless you absolutely have to, you shouldn't move in that tank destroyer lineup. And you know, we saw those tanks moving out across the 2 flag, and they were getting shot from the center of the map. Caren Tiger were really set up just perfectly to catch out every point of damage that they possibly could whenever those TCZ tank destroyers moved. And you know, I don't really think that TCZ needed to try and commit as many of those tanks as they did to just essentially get the reset, because that's all they needed to do. They just needed to get the reset, and you can get the reset with like, you know, like a mouse or even just like a T110E3 fairly easily. But they were, you know, pushing all of their tanks over and, you know, only leaving the one T110E3 and the other. On the other flag, it was tricky.
Yeah, they're just pretty much losing pretty much every fight there. And we saw, I think it was Joke, he just couldn't get the reset, so they forced to get another mouse to come on over. He got tracked right down the firing line, copped about 1800 damage before he was finally able to get back to safety. And yeah, look at the damage dealt. Just Mousers, 4 Mousers coming out of Caren Tiger, getting 4 big damage scores for themselves.
Yep, that was simple stuff from Caren Tiger, but it worked, and that's all they needed to do.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, good stuff from them. I think that T110E3 Robo-1 Kenobi with 1911 damage dealt. I mean, he's done okay. Would have liked to see maybe some of those T95s up a little bit higher than what they were. Like,
yeah, they need to be a lot higher than where they were, Alex.
That's not great. Line and beached only dealing essentially 1 shot of damage each, and Odysseus in the T124 I still would have liked it. He's hit 2 out of 4. I mean, yes, he's shooting up against Mouse, but you'd still want a little bit more than that. That's not ideal at the end of the day. But Murame, got to give him credit where credit's due. 1472 damage in an AMX 1390 of all tanks.
Yeah, he was getting behind that T95 and getting some shots down. Really great stuff from Caren Tiger. I think they definitely showed up here tonight. Obviously the stronger of the 2 teams, but still playing well fundamentally is the thing to take away from this. And they really need to, in the coming weeks, they have some very tough competition ahead of them. So they need to get all that doubt out of their mind. They need to get those inconsistency issues sorted as soon as possible, because if they want to take out the spot over Meltdown and Horseman, it's going to be such a struggle if they're dealing with these issues that have pressed them in the past.
Yeah, look, I mean, right now, we're 4-0 down. TCZ, they're moving on to Ghost Town now. It is a map that's...
Steps.
Steps. It is a map that they're not bad at, Steps. Like, I mean, they're not great at it either, I think, particularly when they've done, like, the Utilidudes before on Steps and done some really weird stuff. But,
it's
like, they can play Steps defense.
Yeah.
Like, I have full confidence that they could actually pull off a win here against Caren Tiger. It just sounds like I'm saying that now because I've said that every time. But
and every time you've been right. It's not insane. It's not complete like insanity to ask for a win at a Coalition Zoo.
Yeah.
Especially after we watched the first round on Mines. They look so strong. They look like they had it all together. The only thing they were lacking was good time management, which forced them to make a questionable push. And that was the game that we had to base the rest of our assumptions going into these rounds with. So I don't think it's too crazy to assume that they can potentially take a round here based off game 1.
I'm definitely hoping so. I'm really hoping so that they can take a round here and actually turn this into a bit of a competition, you know, because that would be great to see that. And I know whenever we cast Rogi, our second game of the day, it's always a competition usually. So
yeah, we usually get those 9-game series that go down to the wire.
Exactly. So it's disappointing for Caren Tiger to break our tradition
We're on such a good
like
streak.
that.
We're on such a good streak, Alex, and I'm sure Coalition Zoo would think of the same thing. Get into this game and give it their best. We've seen something interesting about Coalitions. Usually when they are down 0-4, they like to chuck out something a little bit cheeky, a little bit fun on the 5th round here. We saw the the 6 patterns on Muro.
Yep, we've seen the 6 patterns. I think on steps, probably wouldn't want the 6 patterns, but
no.
I still reckon chucking a leopard's all right on steps. So, you know, are you 251 or the S tank? Which one you go? It's kind of so they could put Madhouse in the S tank, pop him up on the boost, on steps, on the defense. I think for TCZ here, they really do want to be on the defense to have the chance of getting one round, because I think Caren Tiger, they're probably going to win their defense. They're not actually great at steps as a team, Caren Tiger. I mean, neither of these teams are great at steps, but Caren Tiger, it is one of their weaker maps.
They've had some interesting steps games, Caren Tiger. Let me tell you. So it's no surprise that they do struggle with it a little bit. So coming into this game against Coalition Zoo, like you said, if their Coalition start on defense, is their best opportunity to take it out. But again, I really think they gave it their all on map number 1. Just didn't work out for them, and they're kind of just falling under their own pressure. You could hear by the comms that they weren't tilted or like giving up. They just weren't sure what to be doing, what they could be doing, and why it's going wrong.
Yeah,
and that's a pain. That's a frustrating thing to deal with.
Very frustrating indeed. But look, they've got to put that behind them. They've got to pretend, if they do want to win this, they've just got to pretend that it is a new series, 0-0.
Just got to play 5 best-of-1s.
Exactly, 5 best-of-1s. Caren Tiger, let's not forget, they have been known to choke before when they're 4-0
They're Caren tiebreaker for a reason.
Exactly. So, you know, for all the straws we can pull at here, there are quite a few of them that we can pull out to say that Caren Tiger might drop this next round. And, you know, if TCZ are on the defense, then there's every chance for them to at least turn the tide a little bit, get a win on the board. They're not, I don't think they're playing super badly today. Like, they're not playing amazingly, but they're not, you know, they're not super potatoing. They're just kind of getting beat out a little bit.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? And Caren Tiger, they have to work on, like we said, those consistency issues. So if they're showing, like you said, not dominating a performance, which realistically, Caren Tiger should be dominating Coalition Zoo. And 4-0, it is a domination in sense, but some of those rounds have looked closer than they should have, considering the caliber of these two teams. And that's a worrying sign for Caren Tiger going not only into playoffs, but potentially into finals here. If they're having struggle shutting out rounds against Coalition Zoo, how are they going to expect it to stack up to Efficiency, EL, Meltdown, and Horseman?
Yeah, well, exactly. I mean, they can't take this lightly. They do need to really try for a 5-0, because like you said, they're going to be battling the big boys.
Oh, yeah.
In the playoffs, and if they get there, to the finals. So there's not much time left for the playoffs. There's not much time left for the finals. This is where every single team that is serious and really wants that, you know, that final prize of Season 2 champions, this is where they need to be competing. It's the last week of the regular season, you know, so there's essentially nothing else after this. Obviously, Caren Tiger, they're definitely going to the playoffs. TCC definitely aren't. So, you know, that's always going to be playing on your mind a little bit if you're Caren Tiger, kind of thinking, oh yeah, you know, maybe, look, we can drop a game here and it wouldn't be the biggest of deals, but I just think Caren Tiger, they're the type of team that, you know, you don't mess around with. They don't really mess around too much. They're in it to win it, you know.
And we got to remember how close the leaderboard is at the moment, because every team wants that 3rd spot so they can verse B Gaming, because that's the easiest run through the playoff brackets here. And right now, what is it? I think Horseman 35, Caren Tiger 32, Meltdown 31 points. So 3 points for Caren Tiger here. Tie them up against Horseman tonight. If Horseman go down on a loss, going to be a very interesting Sunday.
Very interesting Sunday. Very interesting Sunday indeed.
And that's, of course, if Horsemen, who are they up against? They're up against Meltdown. So if Horsemen lose to Meltdown, Meltdown go up to 35. So we're going to have 34. So we're going to have 35, 35, 34.
That's going to be interesting.
That's going to be such an interesting Sunday, vying for that 3rd spot.
That's going to be pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm really excited
looking
for that
forward
one,
to
Alex.
that.
I'm really excited for that.
Yeah,
If
should be good.
Yeah, that's of course if Horsemen lose tonight against Meltdown, which they very well could. Meltdown are looking incredibly strong.
Anyways, looking onto steps here, we can see Caren Tiger, they've got a 29% attack win rate. The attack win rate is 20% for TCZ. TCZ have a 0% defensive win rate, which isn't great, but I still feel as though they're slightly better on the defense, as long as they don't do the utility dudes.
They just stick it in the bush and do
but
its own thing.
I think if Caren Tiger here start off on the defense, they're just going to win it.
Yeah, and let's be real, if they start off the attack, they'll probably win that as well, Alex.
Well, they're starting off on the defense,
Oh.
so...
They've got the 4 bat shots though, not a mouse in sight. Not something we used to be seeing here, but what can you tell us about this Coalition Zoo lineup, Alex?
Well, I can tell you that I don't quite think that we've seen that before. Yeah, I think it's pretty safe to say that we have never seen it before from TCZ, because they're going with the 2 new Tier 10 German heavy tanks, the Panzerkampfwagen 7s.
You can tell it's new because there's no picture.
Yeah,
Brand new,
well,
Alex.
exactly. And, you know, we think about those, it's got nice high alpha damage, not the best pen, but you don't need the best pen on steps. 560 average damage. So, the Panzerkampfwagen 7, I've never actually played it, obviously, because it's quite new, I don't have it. Got quite good hull armor, decent turret armor.
Let's see it if it debuts well tonight for Coalition Zoo and doesn't just look glorious in bright pink and yellow, Alex.
Oh, absolutely.
A real menace on the field. And Zenlon in the RA251, his scouting run, a little bit too close to comfort for him. Got Beach in the M55 up on the top here. He's rotating his way on over. And after, of course, that Zenlon's done his scouting run, can attempt at the boost.
Oh, Beach,
Fails it.
please.
They both fail their boosts.
Yeah, I don't even know if you can do that. Well, maybe you can do that boost that Beach is doing. Anyways, he's going to just say, well, I'm not
Just use
wasting any
the,
more time.
Scoop on the back to dig himself in the wall.
Yeah, exactly. But look, these Panzerkampfwagons, obviously it is the new German Tier 10 kind of super heavy tank. You know, it has got really good armor. We'll be able to ricochet quite a few shots, but
Joke takes a shot here, and wow, Zenlon.
He's struggling.
That's embarrassing.
He's struggling. This is like Dark Wolves level of boost failing.
Poor guy.
Poor guy. But yeah, well, it's not a bad lineup from TCD. And in terms of shaking stuff up, I think this is a good way to shake stuff up, because they should be able to push on towards that 2 flag, and it's not going to be easy for the Caren Tiger defenders to go through. Oh my goodness!
They say
please.
3rd time's a charm, Alex, and they're wrong.
Obviously, it's not ideal.
Nope. But Coalition Zoo aren't in a very ideal spot either. They're just kind of hanging back. Caren Tiger's set up very well across the map.
I think what TCZ maybe are trying to do here is use that M53 and 55 and try and get some good shots. Come on, Zen. Oh, he's not not going into the right angle.
Either,
he's going
Alex.
too far left. He needs to go a little bit right. Don't know if he's done it before or not, because it doesn't look like he has. I've almost done it before. I've got closer than that.
Look, he's lost. He's failed that boost as many times as Coalition Zoo have failed to take a round of Caren Tiger.
Yeah. There you go. In this series.
Yeah, that's it, right? Or probably ever. Oh no, they've got 2 rounds. They have 2 rounds against Caren Tiger full stop.
Yeah, because their first match against Caren Tiger this
5-2.
season. Oh, he's called in the called in the backup.
Oh, if this fails.
There we go.
Okay, you're not making fails of the week just yet, my friend.
Does he make the next one?
Oh, if he falls down here, then yes, it's fails of the week. But
it looks like
he should be fine.
Yeah.
He's golden.
That was right. That was right. Oh, and actually, Odysseus here might have to be a little bit careful on the Panzerkampfwagen.
How much damage are we expecting to come out of this?
About 560 alpha it's got. So, you know, plus minus of course, but
Yep.
it's a good alpha tank. DPM on it's not great, so you don't really want to be caught out in a brawl versus Batchats.
So what's the purpose it really serves here? Obviously it's a little bit new, so maybe don't know the fullest extent of it in the meta.
Yeah,
Fifth time is a charm,
fifth time
friends.
is the charm, absolutely. But look, it's got high alpha, it's got high survivability.
So why would you pick it as opposed to the mouse?
Like, it's, I think, slightly faster than the mouse.
What isn't?
Slightly less bulky. It can trade frontally. Obviously, the mouse gets a little bit weak when you're pointing its turret at something.
Yeah.
I think it's got slightly higher turret traverse speed than the mouse. A little bit better pen from memory, just a touch.
Oh.
It's just a little bit more damage focused than the mouse, essentially. Just
Sure.
a touch.
No mouse in sight for Caren Tiger, so we won't get to see those two tanks go up against each other at the moment. We'll see whether or not Coalition Zoo can utilize the Kraftwagen?
The Panzerkampfwagen.
Yeah, I'm
7.
not even going to attempt that until a few weeks in.
Yeah.
I'll leave that one up to you, Alex.
I should leave that one up to Jordan. He's part
Jordan would
German.
nail it.
Jordan was showing me all this like German rap music
Oh yeah.
the other day. He's like, oh yeah, back in Germany when I did my exchange, we used to play this at every party like 3 times. It's like,
That's
wow.
right, he was saying that in stream, wasn't he? Brag
Yeah.
about it, Jordan. Mr. I go to parties in Germany.
Yeah. Kind of glad I wasn't at those parties, to be honest. The music didn't sound that good.
No, let's be real, it was... It's alright.
I mean, it probably helps that I don't understand German. Anyways, German aside, I think that Caren Tiger don't need to understand German to put a shell into that German Super Heavy, which they have already done onto Odysseus. But now, I mean, look, this isn't a bad idea from TCZ, just getting a bit of cap pressure.
Oh, shot comes
Could
in
be a
from
little bit more
Beach.
forward. Yeah.
Splash damage, tracks him though.
Yeah, I was actually seeing that, and I was like, well, no, Beach, you should have actually aimed a little bit further back or further forward, depending which way you're looking at it. So, not going to be the case.
Minute left on the cap, but Caren Tiger should have no difficulty going for the reset anytime they see fit. They're all just kind of making the way for the flank. They
Ooh,
want to get in
Polly.
the back there, but Polly's got to be careful. He might go down here. Another shot from a Coalition Zoo member will do it. Alec Dye cleans him up.
Alec Dye's playing well in that batch at AP. Gets the reload started off as well. And, well, look at that. Suddenly, 46 seconds left on the cap. So that is still ticking away there for TCZ. And Caren Tiger, now they're 1 tank down.
Could this be the one round that they needed, Alex?
It could be.
We swept Coalition Zoo out here, but Caren Tiger maybe have flubbed this one. And shots coming through onto Yupa. Nomad misses that one away. Modame should be able to get the reset when he comes up on the hill. Lining his time up,
Yep.
is able to get it. This is going to be a full reset as well, as he's only the tank on the field here.
Yeah, there we
Good
go.
flank coming out
Oh,
from
don't that
Nomad.
did miss.
I think it did. I
Or
think it did,
bounce,
Alex.
maybe. Oh, that is not ideal there. And now Odysseus is going to be going
Oh,
down.
no. They've already
Oh.
lost one of their heavies. This is looking bad for Coalition Zoo. Akiov finds a kill onto Alec Dye. That's the Bat AP off the field. Just when it's starting to do so well, but the RU-251 goes down from the artillery, but that's going to be 30 seconds before that piece is going to be able to shoot another one, only taking out the RU-251, but that's the spotting. Gone off the field for Caren Tiger. And Nomad, he really isn't finding too much here in the Bat, and the Bat shots just connecting with their damage. Akiov goes down, Lion picks that one up. Activate camouflage onto Modame.
Yeah, there we go. And Nomad, he's still struggling around here. But look, if he manages to put one more shot into Mudame, then Mudame will be looking very, very low. Misses the next one onto Yuba, though. Nomad, he can't just be missing these shots. But Caren Tiger, they've actually only got 3 tanks left. So it's starting to look pretty good for TCZ.
Oh, Yupa, not going to get hit by that artillery. And yeah, you're right. I think Coalition Zoo maybe onto something here. Nadeko, Yupa, and Hell Kurai, the last players left alive. Joki is only 1 shot, but if he can get his 2 off in time, that would be huge. Hell Kurai actually picks him up on the flank, but Nadeko, 20 HP left. It's a 3 versus 3, 2 versus 2, 2 versus 1 rather. Comes all the way down to the wire, but remember, there's only 2 combat tanks on the field right now. Beach in the artillery. He's not going to be able to do anything if both these tanks go down. Lion, he's still up there. Hell Kurai and Yupa need to do something with only 2 minutes left on the clock. They can't afford to run and hide just yet. Here comes the artillery. This could change the pace of the game, and it misses.
Yeah, no, that is pretty crucial right there. And Lion, look, well, maybe 1 shot from Yupa, one good
I think
shot.
they're going to be going for the artillery here. Maybe they don't want to waste their bullets on it just yet. They want the 113 to take it out because they can't afford to waste the autoloader's reload time.
Yeah, and look at this. Roby Wankadobi, he's off the reload now. He has a full clip. Yupa cannot deal with him. Yupa's ammo rack is damaged. So really, there's no choice. The other Batchet has to run away here for...
Yeah, this is scary stuff for Caren Tiger right now. Yupa should be going down here, but if
good angling, good angling.
Can't hit those shots, can't connect with them, it could be bad. Yupa, does he have enough time to get one more shot off? But of course, Roby is on the back line. Going to be able to take out Yupa on that one, but where is Hellcry? He's completely booked it.
No, he hasn't. He hasn't, though. Look at this. Hellcry,
he has reloaded, though.
Yeah, but he's ammo racked as well, so...
50 seconds left. If Hellcry wins this, that would be an absolute miracle. 50 seconds on the cap, that they need to get that third tank in there if they want to win, because they can't win off two. They don't have enough time, Alex. They need that third tank in the hill.
There we go. Okay. So
if Hellcry gets one shot and then books he wins.
Is it just one? Although, does he need two? Maybe he needs two.
He needs to reset on one of the members with a long duration.
Yeah. This is tricky. Can he do it?
This would be an absolute miracle if he's able to win that, but he needs to get the spotting down first. He hasn't seen anyone just yet. A lot of dead tanks litter the field. He comes up. Can he get the shot? Gets the reset, goes down to 18 seconds. He just needs to run and he wins the game. He needs to run to win. Has he realized that though? But I don't think he's going to be able to get away. They're making their way down. He gets Beach. Beach is down, but I don't think it's going to matter. There we go. Coalitions who find their first round. And what a round at that, Alex.
2 seconds left and TCZ snaked the win by taking him out. That
he should have just ran. He got the reset. He had enough time.
I think he was trying to run, but he had to reverse and then turn around. So maybe a drive-by would have been a better idea.
Yeah, I really think so. Just coming in fast, getting the shot, then continuing on that trajectory.
Yep. Oh, well. That was a fun end of the match.
That was good. That was good.
Good to see TCZ pick up one as well. And on their attack, which we thought maybe they wouldn't pick up. So,
great stuff. And look, this is what happens to Caren Tiger. They get 4 wins on the board, and then they falter. This could be the beginning of the end here, and obviously it's a very long and treacherous journey for Coalition Zoo to mount a comeback here, but Caren Tiger are the team that like to fumble rounds.
They do. Absolutely they do. And, well, look, after that one, you've got to also say to TCZ, well, you've tried something new, TCZ, and again, it's actually worked out pretty well. Those Panzerkampfwagen 7s. Like, I don't know if we're going to see them up the top of the damage scoreboard there, but I still felt that they blocked a fair bit of damage.
They did.
You know, 2,500 HP, pretty decent amount of buffer. And I think a few of them got a few shots and were generally nuisances on the flag. So
they definitely were a bit pesky here and there, and you can see
good stuff by Alec Dye.
Yeah, Polly, he was the first one out. Didn't have too much of an opportunity to do anything in that game. Odysseus, first to fall for Coalition Zoo, and pretty much over from then on out. I know it was all came down to the wire, but could have been a cleaner win out of Coalition Zoo. And you can see, Hellcry, there was just no chance of him getting away. The terrain was just not favoring him either. Batchat's reigning supreme, and it is a breath of fresh air considering last week when we saw Steps, it was a war of attrition.
Yep.
Essentially just 5 mouse. 20k HP pool.
Yep.
Do you have enough time to kill me? No, you do not, so I win the round.
Here we go, and well, to no surprise, we do not see the Panzerkampfwagen 7s up the top of the scoreboard. Roby in line up the top. Line's been playing generally quite good today. Deco, Hellcry, Mudame, Yupa, no surprises to see them up the top. Beach, though, in the Tier 9 artillery piece with 1733 damage. He did miss, well, like 1 or 2, which maybe could have hit.
Yeah, Polly just got nothing done. He was caught out by Alec Dye and bursted down.
Yeah.
Especially considering that Alec Dye was in the Batchat AP.
Yep. And Nomad there. Has dealt 15, 19 damage. We've got Odysseus there. Only managed to get 1 shot off, and that was quite a low roll as well in that one. Only 459 damage, so not ideal. But yeah, at the end of the day, Alec Dye, he hasn't got too many shots off there, but the shots that he did get were quite impactful. So overall, TCZ got to be happy with that one. At least they won't walk away from this game empty-handed.
Yeah, that's the saving grace of the series here. Not going to go down 5-0, and even though the predictions of our games, you and Jordan should be getting this one correct. I went for the no faith.
You went for the 5-0. It was looking like it.
Really
I can
was.
see why you went for the 5-0, Max. But at the end of the day, look, I'm happy I went with Jordan this one and called it a 5-1. Because I think now, look, TCZ, they've got their win. You know, they can be happy with that. They've tried their little kind of interesting strategy with the two kind of new tier 10 German heavies. But I think now, on the defense, is where they kind of slip up.
You reckon?
Yeah,
this is where
I reckon it's
Tiger,
going to end
that
5-1.
final hit of the nail into the
I
coffin.
reckon.
No, sure, I can see it. Again, I could see it last round as well. It's Caren Tiger. Again, they just like to blunder rounds. They just like to blunder them. There's just no excuse for losing there. Like you said, it was Coalition Zoo trying out something new. And whilst the Tier 10 German heavies didn't look very impactful at all, it wasn't them that won the round. It's the rest it was the rest of Coalition Zoo.
Exactly.
And their bat shots and their proper placements, Beach hitting his artillery shots when it mattered, and Caren Tiger just not having an answer for anything.
Yeah, and Beach starting shot onto the RU-251 that was up on the hill. I mean, that was big. That was
crucial.
Really, really good. And obviously, as well, Zenlon actually failing the boost that many times and forcing another bat chat to come back and help him. That actually put that other bat chat out of the position.
That's right.
Because we don't know. Maybe the other bat chat that helped push Zenlon up the hill. Maybe Caren Tiger wanted to make a aggressive push with their bat chats and they couldn't because he was helping push Zenlon up the hill. So it's things like that that really do add up at the end of the day, and why you do need to be on your game with regards to all the boosts. Like the RU-251 boost, if I was a WGL player, I wouldn't want to fail that more than once.
Yeah, like once is forgivable, right?
Exactly.
You can understand it. It wasn't even like he was failing it because he was hitting it perfectly.
Yeah, no,
it
looked like he didn't actually know how to get up on there.
He was on
because he wasn't taking the right angle.
Such a wide angle, and you really have to question when it's that dire to call one of your bat shots over to boost you up there in the RU-251, whether or not Zenlon's the right man for the job.
Yep, I think so. I think so, Max. But look, at the end of the day, they've still got another chance to make this a win. That may not end up really playing into it. I think as long as Caren Tiger can get this win on the next half here of steps, close it out, seal the deal as a 5-1, then they should be sitting pretty.
Yeah, I think so too. Of course, it would be interesting considering the last time these two teams fared up, it was a 5-0 to Caren Tiger. So could this be a sign of a current weakened state of Caren Tiger if they aren't able to 5-0 a team that they previously did?
Here we go. Well, I don't think it's too bad if they can get a 5-1 here. Caren Tiger going to be going with that artillery piece, and of course on the man himself, Opalisk on the attack. We've got the 113 and then Batchat. So look, a very solid lineup here from Caren Tiger. I mean, the 113, it's nor here nor there. It's only one of them. We'll still be able to kind of deal with a mouse. Okay, maybe I'd prefer something like an IS-4, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter that much.
Rolling on in here. We'll see if Caren Tiger can get themselves another victory on the board to save. They've already saved themselves some embarrassment, but maybe even more so as well. You see, Caren Tiger, though, with a very Batchat heavy lineup here, really want to go for a fast victory.
They do, and it's looking like Caren Tiger, they might have headed up towards the one flag, but for whatever reason, they've kind of been dissuaded from that, and could be heading back down instead. TCZ haven't actually got anyone on the boost. Instead, Chippy in that AMX 1390's pushed quite aggressively on towards that one flag, which, thinking about it, I mean, I'm not sure if I should be saying that it's a good idea from TCZ, because I know they're quite bad on steps, and they've never won the defense.
Oh, that was close.
But I actually think it's not a bad idea from TCZ by putting that AMX 1390 as long as he's got a camo net in that bush. Because it means that they get those early spots on towards Caren Tiger when they're coming over that hill. And yes, he has got a camo net and binocs. So...
he basically just is a bush at this stage.
Yeah, pretty much. Which isn't bad. It's not bad at all.
Oh, Opalisk with another shell loaded into his arty. Going for a shot onto Joke here. Sends one away. 32 damage.
32, that's close but no cigar. unfortunately, there for Obelisk, but I'm sure we'll see him kind of narrow down his shots a little bit quicker. And you know, we actually saw how quickly he switched from the Batchat that he was chasing with this arty scope, and then onto the mouse. You know, he only aimed in for 1 to 2 seconds, bam, and he still managed to do a little bit of damage.
Yeah, he likes to take those low percentage shots. And he's still
He
got
just
a lot of
goes
time.
for everything,
Yeah, he's
yeah.
got a lot of time to play with. I mean, if you chuck a handful of darts at a board, some of them are going to stick, Alex.
And at the end of the day, I think a low percentage shot when someone's spotted in an artillery piece is probably better than a maybe higher percentage shot when someone's not spotted. Because obviously,
Sure.
you know, you just might not be firing at them. But oh, look at this.
Oh, they could have caught Odysseus and Lion out here. Big damage coming through, but Nadeko, remember, he's getting spotted out by Chippy, who's in a great little position here. And if they aren't able to take out Nadeko in time, that could be huge. Odysseus, though, found his self getting damaged. Lion has to repair his tracks. Nadeko going to be backing out here. Needs to be careful.
And Nadeko backing out. I mean, look, that's not a bad trade from Caren Tiger, I don't think. They managed to get Odysseus down quite a bit. I mean, it's kind of equal, which isn't that bad, but if you're Caren Tiger, you do kind of want to be maybe even blind firing Chippy. That's the issue with all of their Batchats, though, right? Is that they don't really have the luxury to blind fire every bush.
No.
And Chippy is going to be a little bit in danger if he starts blind firing everything. But Caren Tiger, they've got to actually realise now that Chippy is somewhere in a position where he can spot them. They need to realise that, and they need to kind of think about how to deal with it.
It always amazes me how Caren Tiger get the 4 maps and then always find a way to just
Look
at this.
risky. Yep, Chippy's definitely.
Oh, yeah, he's not long for this world. And AQV in a great spot. Oh, have they seen him yet?
Oh, no, they haven't.
He's really...
Oh, my goodness, look at that.
Oh, there he goes. He's going to go down here. That's going to be the scouting tank for Coalition Zoo. Off the field, Caren Tiger answer with that now. CT completely, Coalition Zoo are completely blind at the moment, but they still are able to hit some shots here and there. Kokurai gets out of vision range just in time. Another shot from the Artie coming down.
Oh, Roby's on fire.
Oh, no, he's burnt to death to a crisp. Well done.
There we go, and a nice arty shot onto Beach helps him out as well. But yeah, that fire shot on towards Roby, that is not what TCZ need, because suddenly they only have 3 Batchats left. One of them, Odysseus, he's not looking too healthy. Alec is, well, a little bit damaged. Not the most important modules though, so he'll take that. You know, the radio and the fuel tank.
Not the end of the world. Still,
Right.
Caren Tiger, 7 cannons on the field as opposed to the 5 for Coalition Zoo.
That's big.
Yeah. One of the Batchats in the AMX 1390 off to the loot, missing out on a lot of their burst damage here, and if Opalus can just slowly but surely whittle down.
Exactly.
Just get some permanent damage on the mouse, chipping him off.
That's all that he needs to do at this point. We've still got 5 minutes left, so Opalus, he's still got a good few shots left to get out. Beach just starting to take some damage, and this is working well now for TCZ. Because they've been able to take AMX 1390 down there, now they're able to get back onto the flag. And so when you think about it, TCZ, like, they don't really have that many good tanks to send
shot.
on.
He's really good at pegging these mouses.
Oh, yeah. And that's the reason why Opalus has picked the Artie here. It's just so easy to hit those mouses. It's such a big tank, you know.
55 seconds left on the cap. Coalition Zoo need to act.
And look at this. It's looking like Beach actually will be the man acting, pushing in with that mouse. And that's a good move from Hellcry to get off that cap.
Oh,
Otherwise,
Beach is going to find himself getting damaged on the approach, though. So, again, it's Coalition Zoo with no vision of anyone on Caren Tiger, forced to move forward to go for the break, and then they just get smashed for it. And it all comes back to, Himmelsdorf, when they're saying, why are we getting smashed here? They're luring us out. It's exactly how Caren Tiger need to play this, and it's exactly how they are, Alex.
oh, is he going to get it? Is he going to get the blind shot? Does he go for it? Opalus, he's keen. You can tell he's keen, but no. Oh, there we go.
Look, you just praise the man for never going for these risky blind shots and taking the calculated shots.
And it works. There you go, 400 damage, as opposed to what might have been 0, because I don't think there was anyone there in his blind fire area. So right now, this is looking pretty pretty,
Pretty much over.
grim for,
Yep.
for TCZ. I mean, they don't have the HP now. Caren Tiger have about a 2,000 HP advantage. They're on the cap, 25 seconds left. So unless TCZ's Bat Chats pull off something really big here,
Odysseus is so low though. Alec Dye, even with the damage modules, he needs to be the player to go for this. And we could be seeing Beach go down here.
Oh.
Wow, 17 HP. Shout out to when me and Jordan had that conversation about every hit points matters.
Yep, exactly. And
Still though, it's so grim for Coalition Zoo right now. And they are able to take out Hellcry. That could provide an avenue of approach here. Alec
kill.
Dye.
Oh no, they don't get it. Look, they need it. They 100% needed that. But look at this. It is a 7-on-4.
That mouse goes down, or one of the mouse goes down. The 17 HP one. Yep, there it falls as Opalisk finally claiming that one for his own. So he did about 2,000 damage across the two of them.
Yep. Opalisk has done so much work this game. It's unbelievable. And, you know, this is how you play an Artie on the attack of steps, I think.
Oh, this is going to be lights out for Coalition Zoo. It seems Caren Tiger fed up with this series. Not even dropping a tank to close out this one. And don't want to speak too soon as Nadeko could go down, but Lion really doesn't fancy his chances right now. 40 seconds on the cap, unless Coalition Zoo go for some type of bombing run where, of course, all their tanks will fall down. That's going to be game.
Yep, that should be game. So it's 15 seconds left. I'm not even sure if any of the guys on TCZ are going to be able to, you know, even try for the reset.
Get the shot on Lorraine. Opalus does fall.
That was nice.
But
was he spotted? He must have been.
Yeah, I think Lion. Or he could have just been shooting straight ahead, hoping for the best.
Either way, good little shot there, but at the end of the day, one kill on an artillery piece is not going to net TCZ the win.
No. Coalition Zoo get themselves around Alex, so they've got to walk away with at least that under their belt. Not getting completely shut out here. Caren Tiger once again faltering from getting themselves a perfect game.
Look, Caren Tiger, I mean, I think they played that one really well in general. I mean, like, they didn't get the perfect game, no, but I think you can almost entirely put that last one down to Zenlon just struggling so much on the boost, or a lot down to that. So 5-1, a very good result in the end for them. You know, they've proven on all of the maps tonight that they're just better players than TCZ, I think.
I still fear for them in the future, though.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you do want to be 5-0ing Coalition Zoo when you're playing against it, but let's not forget EL Gaming 5-2 Coalition Zoo last time they played against them. So TCZ, they are a team that, like we've seen, that they can pull out a win. They can play good tanks sometimes, just not often enough.
Again, the only issue for me here is looking at Caren Tiger and their playoff run. Like, they get the win here, they net themselves that 3 points, and that's going to be crucial for them. But if they're still struggling with rounds against Coalition Zoo, I don't think Meltdown would have struggled. I don't think Horseman would have struggled. So if Caren Tiger are still struggling this late into the competition with such a difficult run ahead of them, that's what their eyes have to, their focus has to be on that now.
It does. It really does. So, look, Caren Tiger, I mean, that's 3 points from them. They needed those 3 points. They needed to not make it into a tiebreaker, and that's exactly what they've done. And look, we haven't seen that much innovation from Caren Tiger that game. That was very much just your standard Caren Tiger. I think the most innovative they got was maybe they picked T110E4 on mines, you know, which is nice.
It worked out very well for them.
It did work out very well for them, but certainly no crazy new strategies from there. And I think that's maybe a good thing if they're kind of confident with the strategies that they've got in this current meta leading into the playoffs and the finals, and that's what you want. This was nice from TCZ though. I will give that to them. And it was just that arty shot. Opalisk again, you know? Opalisk. It's like that Scooby-Doo gif where you see like the Scooby-Doo character guys like unmasking the monster. It's like these meddling kids. It's like that meddling Opalisk.
That meddling artillery. And
yeah.
Yep, he was meddling all right, getting himself 2.9k damage. Who's the man getting all the damage under the mask? It was Opalisk.
Yep.
I just imagine the bad guy as the little anime girl as well. And they rip off the mask and Opalisk is like, oh no, you got me.
Opalisk's face there. Oh, that'd be good, but yeah.
Just pull off the wig and the hat.
Yeah. Tell you what, a big shout out to Alec Dye tonight.
He's played impeccably.
I've noticed he has played really, really well tonight, so he does deserve a good shout out. Obviously, Madhouse has been quite lacking. We haven't really seen him tonight.
Yeah, I don't think he was playing tonight, Alex.
No.
So yeah, you
Oh yeah, that's what I mean. We haven't really seen him tonight. So no, I wasn't saying we haven't really seen him in the scoreboard.
Yeah, it's like, surely it was some quick games, Alex. but
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. No. But not seeing Madhouse obviously hurts TCZ. Like, when they win, they have Madhouse. That's pretty simple. So even for them to pull off one win without him, I think is pretty nice.
Okay. It did
you
give
know.
Alec Dye an opportunity to stand to show up when he needed to.
Yep.
And hopefully looking for him tomorrow to come out and play strong again.
Yeah, exactly. I think, Beached, he's been a little bit...
Helcrai had a
iffy.
rough night tonight.
Helcrai, he did actually, didn't he? Helcrai really not doing amazingly. He's been, kind of getting in the bat chats. Mudame there, 1500 damage, not too bad. But yeah, I think Helcrai maybe just off tonight or whatever.
Yeah, Yupa and
Didn't have his
Opalist,
wheat bix
yeah.
this morning.
Yupa and Opalist, though, really the stars of the show tonight. Those two were just playing out of this world. We really put the focus, of course, onto Yupa at the start of the game as one of the top damage dealers in not only for Caren Tiger, but in the league. And then, of course, on the other side, Opalist just really making a name for himself week after week. He's always up there in the artillery. And, of course, Akio V and Alec Dye. Obviously not a Caren Tiger player, but still, if he's topping the damage dealt stats, I'm impressed by Alec Dye tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. So Alec Dye looking quite good there with 2.4k average damage dealt. Roby1 Kenobi, I, again, wasn't actually expecting Roby to be up the top there, but...
He did some work in the grill on the defending half of Mines. He had like 4k damage dealt, and pretty much from then on out, all he needs to do is get another, 6k on the board? 8k?
Yep. Good stuff there from Roby, but Odysseus down the bottom. Yeah, Odysseus, he was kind of in struggle street tonight, wasn't he?
Yeah, he really, I think he was just always out of position. And
Yeah.
Not only by his fault, it's just that he was the person to like, hey, look, I think we're attacking this side. Odysseus, can you just hang back and make sure they don't come here? And then Caren Tiger would be like, oh, one tank left alone. Let's go nip that one up. Opalist out-damaging Marrow, considering he only played in 3 of the 6 rounds tonight. It's pretty impressive stuff as well.
Very impressive indeedy, I reckon, because Opalisk, of course, was in those tier 8s as well. And really, when you put Opalisk into a tier 8 artillery piece, he is as dangerous as any tier 10.
Yep,
I would
congratulations.
say. So, you almost, honestly, if you're going up against Caren Tiger in next week's playoffs, for example, I would almost be like starting already to put together like a strategy
I think you're right.
of how to deal with Opalisk.
No, I think you've got the money there. That's the key to taking out Caren Tiger. So any WGL APACers out there potentially watching this game release the broadcast, focus on doing something about Opalist and the artillery, because it is such a pesky thing that they have going for them. But once again, congratulations for Caren Tiger. They take out the series 5-1 over Coalition Zoo. We're going to go to a quick break, but when we come back, B Gaming take on Dark Wolves. You don't want to miss it.